Susie is right, YN said, her voice steady, almost empty. I killed your mom. Jungkook stared at her like he hadn't heard correctly. You're lying. I'm not, she replied, no hesitation, no break. I killed her with my own hands. Silence deafening. Jungkook's mind refused to process it. No. He shook his head slowly. No, this is not true. You're saying this to push me away. But she didn't react, didn't deny, didn't soften. Just stood there. And that scared him more than anything. Why? His voice dropped, almost breaking. Why would you do that? For the first time, her expression cracked. Tears filled her eyes, not weak, not pleading, burning. Because she lelled my kids. The room went still. Jungkook's breath hitched. What? Her lips trembled, but her voice didn't. Not once. A tear slid down. Twice. That hit like a blow. What are you talking about? He whispered. YN stood up slowly, her hands shaking not from fear, but from something deeper. You think prison broke me, she said. Voice rising slightly. No, I was already broken before that. Jungkook couldn't move, couldn't think. She never accepted me, YN continued. Not really. You thought she did, but that was just for you. His brows furrowed, confusion mixing with disbelief. No, I saw. You saw what she wanted you to see, she cut in sharply. She knew about my first pregnancy, YN said, voice dropping again, and suddenly, I lost it. Jungkook's heart started pounding. That happens sometimes, he tried. Weakly. No, she snapped. Not like that. Her eyes locked onto his. I heard her that day. He froze. She said, this girl won't trap my son with a child. Jungkook's face drained of color. You're lying, he whispered again, but this time, it sounded less certain. I kept quiet, YN said, tears falling freely now, because I thought maybe I was wrong. Then, it happened again. That broke something in him. Second time same thing, she continued. Voice shaking now. And this time I knew. Jungkook stepped back slightly. Like the ground beneath him shifted. She didn't want me in your life, YN said, and she made sure I wouldn't have anything tying me to you. No, he ran a hand through his hair, breathing uneven. No, she wouldn't, she couldn't. I went there that night to confront her. YN said silence. He dangerous. She admitted it. YN whispered. Jungkook looked up sharply. She said I wasn't worthy of this family. That I should be grateful. She didn't throw me out completely. Her hands clenched into fists. I lost everything because of her, she said. And she stood there like it was nothing. Tears streamed down her face now, but her eyes were cold. So yes, she said, voice turning eerily calm again, I killed her. Jungkook's chest tightened painfully. But not for no reason, she added. Silence swallowed the room. Jeonsan stirred slightly in the other room, a small, innocent sound, completely disconnected from the storm happening here. She never liked me, she said, staring straight at Jungkook. Not even once. Because I didn't match your level. Jungkook didn't interrupt, didn't defend. He just listened. Her choice was always Susie or someone rich. YN continued. Everything she did in front of you? An act. His throat felt dry. I told you all this, she said, her eyes glistening now. But you never believed me. That line. It landed heavier than anything else. After my first pregnancy, her voice trembled slightly. When I lost the baby, she was the one who took me to that hospital. Jungkook's brows pulled together. That's where it started, she said. She was already giving me pills. I didn't even know what they were. His chest tightened. The doctor lied too, she added. They said it was stress, and we believed them. Jungkook looked away for a second. Because he remembered, he had believed that. I asked you to move out, she said, stepping closer. Do you remember? I told you I didn't feel safe there. He nodded slowly. You thought I was overreacting. You said your mom don't want him to separate, she whispered. They treated me like I didn't exist, she went on. Your dad knew everything, but he stayed silent. Jungkook's jaw tightened. If I made food, she said, her voice breaking now, they would throw it in the dustbin. Right in front of me. His head snapped up. They didn't even give me proper lights in my room sometimes, she added. Called me names behind my back like I wasn't even human. Tears slipped down her face, but she didn't wipe them. I lived like that, she said. In your house. As your wife. Jungkook couldn't speak. Because now, he wasn't just hearing her. He was remembering things he had ignored. Moments he dismissed. Signs he didn't want to see. I tried to survive, she whispered. I tried to make it work for you. A pause. Then her voice dropped. Quieter, but heavier than everything before. But I lost my children. Jungkook's breath hitched again. And that night, she continued. When she admitted it, her eyes hardened. I didn't see her as your mother anymore. Silence filled the space between them. Cold. Unforgiving. I saw the person who took everything from me, she said. Jungkook finally spoke, but his voice was barely there. Why didn't you tell me all this before? She let out a hollow laugh. I did. A pause. You just didn't listen. That truth. Cut deeper than anything else. Jungkook stood there, frozen. Because now, this wasn't just about a murder anymore. It was about everything that led to it. Every ignored word, every dismissed fear. Every moment he chose comfort over truth. And standing in front of him was not just his wife, but someone who had been breaking right in front of him for a long, long time. I found out about my second pregnancy, YN said, her voice low, distant. I didn't even tell you. Jungkook's eyes lifted slowly. I was scared, she continued. Stressed. I kept it to myself because I didn't trust anyone in that house. A pause. I told you we should move out. His throat tightened. You said I was overthinking. Your mom is not agreeing. That hit hard. I heard them, she said, her gaze unfocused now, like she was reliving it. Your mom, Susie, her mother, all of them. Jungkook stiffened. They were planning to throw me out, she whispered. Anyhow, no matter what. He shook his head slightly. Whine. Do you even know how much they hated me? She snapped, her voice rising for a second before dropping again. Not just dislike, hate. Silence. She found out, YN continued. I don't even know how. I was careful, I didn't tell anyone. Her hands trembled now. She came to me, asked if I was pregnant. Jungkook's chest felt tight. I denied it at first, YN said. But she already knew. A tear slipped down. I told her to stop. Told her she had already done enough. Her breathing grew uneven. And she just looked at me like, she paused, swallowing hard, like I was nothing. Jungkook didn't move. Couldn't. She said she would throw me out anyway. YN continued, that I don't belong there, that no child of mine would ever be part of that family. She said her son deserves someone better his level. Silence pressed in from all sides. And then, her voice dropped to almost a whisper. Jungkook's heart pounded. She pushed me. Everything stopped. What? His voice cracked. Stairs, she said. I fell from the stairs that day. Jungkook stepped back slightly, like the air had been knocked out of him. No, that didn't happen. I would've known. You did know, she cut in. His eyes widened. They said I slipped, she said. Remember? Memory hit him. That day, the panic, the hospital, the explanation, accident. I believed them. He whispered. You believed them, she repeated, not accusing, just stating. And I lost the baby. The silence after that was unbearable. Jungkook's hands trembled slightly now, because pieces were falling into place, things he never questioned, things he should have questioned. I begged you to leave that house, she said softly. Not because I was weak, her eyes met his, but because I knew I wouldn't survive there. Jungkook couldn't look away. And you kept telling me we will one day, but that day never come, she added. I adjusted, she said, until there was nothing left to lose. Then, she whispered. So when she admitted everything that night, her expression went still. I didn't see your mother anymore. Jungkook's breathing turned uneven. I saw the person who killed my children. Silence, heavy, crushing. And for the first time, Jungkook wasn't trying to deny it, because deep down he remembered enough to know she wasn't making this up. The room went dead quiet. YN's words didn't come out like a confession anymore. They came out like something that had been burning inside her for years. Not just one baby, it was twins, she said, her voice hollow. I checked, I knew. Jungkook felt like the ground beneath him disappeared. Same hospital, same doctor, she continued. She told me they were dead. Her lips trembled, but her eyes didn't soften. She was smiling when I was passing out. Jungkook shut his eyes for a second, like he couldn't bear the image. They were making me infertile. YN went on. I heard them, pills, food, water, everything. His breathing grew uneven. All of it so I would leave you, she said. Silence, heavy, suffocating. I was dying slowly in that house, she whispered. And no one saw it. Jungkook couldn't speak, because now, this wasn't just about what she did. It was about what she went through. But then, her voice changed. Colder, darker. So I waited. His eyes opened. One day, no one was home except her. A pause. She was talking like nothing ever happened, smiling. Her jaw clenched. And I stood there, remembering my children. Jungkook's chest tightened painfully. I confronted her, YN said, asked her why. Silence. She said she hated me. Her grip tightened unconsciously. She said you deserved someone else, not me. Jungkook flinched. After everything I sacrificed, YN's voice cracked slightly. She had no remorse. A long pause. Then, I picked up the knife. Jungkook's heart pounded loudly now. I didn't think, she said. Her eyes met his. I stabbed her. Silence. I didn't stop. Her voice didn't shake anymore. I kept hitting until she died. Jungkook's breath caught, because there was no hesitation in her words. No denial. No regret. I have no regret, she said finally. That sentence echoed in the room. Cold. Final. Jungkook just stood there, looking at her. At the woman he loved, at the mother of his child. At someone who had suffered, and then crossed a line that couldn't be undone. His voice, when it came out, was barely there. YN. But he didn't know what to say after that. Because there was no simple reaction left. No clear side, just pine in both ends. And a truth that had finally come out. Too late to change anything. Jungkook's voice broke. Is it true? YN didn't hesitate, she nodded. Silence collapsed around them. I'm sorry, he whispered, tears falling freely now. But it didn't reach her. I wanted Jeonsan, she said quietly. Her eyes distant. Because I lost everything before him. I had nothing left. Jungkook looked at her like he was seeing her for the first time. I love you, she added, then paused. But not more than my kids. Cold final. That truth shattered whatever was left in him. He dropped to his knees, hands shaking, breath uneven. Not just his mother, not just his wife, but his children, 3 lives he never even got to hold. I was never there, he cried. I didn't protect you. I didn't protect them. Guilt crushed him completely. I'm sorry, he kept repeating, like it could undo anything. YN watched him. For a moment something in her cracked too. She slowly sat beside him and pulled him into a hug. He clung to her, crying like everything inside him had finally broken. For a second, they were just 2 people who had lost too much. Then a small movement, a quiet shift. He didn't notice it, too lost in grief. YN's hand moved carefully, a syringe, he prepared. She held him close with one arm, and with the other, pressed it in. Jungkook flinched slightly. What? But his voice faded quickly. His body grew heavy, his grip loosened. Within seconds he went still, unconscious. The room fell silent again. Different this time, colder. YN gently lowered him to the floor. Her face unreadable as she looked at him. I still don't believe you, she murmured. Not loudly, just enough for herself. She stood up. No hesitation now. She moved quickly. Bags, money, jewelry. Passports already prepared. Everything planned. Jeonson stirred slightly as she picked him up. She held him close. Tightly. Then walked out. Outside a cab waited, no looking back, no second thoughts. The car door shut. And just like that she was gone. At the airport, the noise of people. Announcements. Movement, none of it touched her. She walked straight ahead. Johnson holding her hand. He woke up from sleep, a new name, a new place. A new life, far away from everything. From the house, from the past, from Jungkook. Because to her this wasn't running. This was escape. From a life that suffocated her. From people who broke her. From a story she refused to stay trapped in. And back in that silent house, Jungkook lay there. Unaware. Left behind. With the truth. And the emptiness that followed. Jungkook's secret house felt colder. Jungkook stood in front of Suzy and her mother, both shaken, cornered, no longer in control the way they once were. Did you do it? His voice was low, but it carried weight. My children. What happened to them? Suzy's eyes flickered. No, she whispered at first. Jungkook didn't move. Look at me and answer. Silence stretched. Her mother tried to speak. This is going too far. Then say the truth. Jungkook cut in, sharper now. Suzy broke first. Tears, shaky breath. I didn't kill them, she said quickly. But I knew. That was enough to change the air. Jungkook's jaw tightened. Knew what? She hesitated, and that hesitation said everything. My mom and your mom. Her voice cracked. They didn't want her there. They said she would trap you, ruin everything. Jungkook felt something inside him go still. And the hospital? He asked. Suzy looked down. We made sure she kept going to the same place, she admitted. The doctor was on our side. His fists clenched. You poisoned her, he asked, disbelief and rage mixing. No, Suzy shook her head desperately. Not like that, just medicines. Things to make it harder to stress her body. To lose the baby, he finished. She didn't deny it. Silence heavy. Jungkook already closed that hospital, cancelled their license. The doctor's staff were greedy and corrupted, playing with innocent people's lives. He sent them in jail. And the second time, his voice dropped. Suzy closed her eyes. She was pregnant again, we found out. Jungkook's breath turned uneven. We thought if it happened again, she would leave on her own. It was Mrs. Jeon she pushed her, not me. Jungkook shocked. Behind his back his mother was doing cruel things with YN. Which was answer enough. And that night? He asked. I wasn't there to kill anyone, Suzy said quickly. When I came, she was already hurt. I got scared and left. Jungkook stared at her, measuring every word. You wanted me, he said finally. Suzy looked up, tears falling. Yes, she whispered. I always did. I grew up knowing I was supposed to be with you. And then she came, and took everything. Jungkook's expression hardened. You didn't lose anything, he said coldly. You destroyed everything yourself. Her face crumpled. I would never choose you, he added. Voice firm. Not before, not after this. Not after what you did to her. Suzy's mother stepped forward, desperate now. We were thinking about your future. My future? Jungkook cut in, eyes flashing. You destroyed my wife's life. You took away my children before they were even born. Silence. Final. Jungkook took a step back. This ends in court, he said. Everything you've said, every truth will come out. For the first time, they looked afraid. Not of him, but of consequences. Outside, Jungkook stood alone, breathing heavy, mind racing, because now, the truth wasn't just a suspicion anymore. It had shape, names, actions, and guilt. But one thing mattered more than all of that. YN. She was gone, and this time, he didn't need revenge. He needed to find her, before everything was lost for good. The confrontation with his father didn't explode. It cut. Mr. Jeon stood there, expecting control like always. But Jungkook wasn't the same anymore. What have you done? His father demanded. Do you even realize what your wife confessed to? Jungkook looked at him calm but cold. I know exactly what she said. Mr. Jeon scoffed. Then stop this madness. Drop your act and face reality. That was it. Something snapped, not loud but final. You knew, Jungkook said quietly. His father frowned. What are you talking about? You knew what they were doing to her. Jungkook continued, stepping closer. In that house. The pills, the hospital, everything. Silence just for a second. But it was enough. Mr. Jeon's expression shifted barely, but Jungkook saw it. I didn't know everything, his father replied, defensive now. You knew enough to stop it. Jungkook shot back. And you didn't. That hit harder. They were my children. Jungkook's voice cracked for the first time. 3 innocent lives. His father looked away. And all of you acted like the biggest loss was her, he added bitterly. Like my mother was some victim. She was the biggest villain in my story. Mr. Jaeon snapped back. Watch your words. Why? Jungkook's eyes darkened. Because the truth hurts. Silence again. I don't regret what happened to her, Jungkook said, voice low. Whoever did it, I don't regret it. That shook his father. You've lost your mind, he muttered. No, Jungkook replied. I've finally opened my eyes. He stepped back, creating distance not just physically. But listen carefully, Jungkook added, voice turning firm, dangerous. You will not touch this case again. Mr. Jaeon's brows furrowed. I have every right. No, Jungkook cut him off. You lost that right the moment you stayed silent. A long pause. And if you try to put even one more allegation on my wife, his voice dropped, deadly calm. I will destroy everything you've built. That wasn't a threat. It was a promise. Mr. Jaeon said nothing, because for the first time, he believed him. Jungkook didn't look back, because now, his focus was somewhere else. YN. His team moved fast, tracking records, airports, financial trails, every possible lead. Jungkook didn't care how much it cost. He just needed one thing. To find her. At the same time, the case shifted. With everything uncovered about Susie and her family, the hospital involvement, the manipulation, the pressure, the court began leaning. Not fully, but enough. Enough to see that YN wasn't the villain everyone made her out to be. Jungkook made sure of it. Lawyers, evidence, protection. Even in her absence, he built a shield around her name. Because this time, he wasn't late. But none of it mattered to him as much as one thing. Finding her. Finding his son. Because no matter how much truth came out, none of it would feel complete. Until he brought them back. 4 years had quietly rewritten her life. In a small hillside town in Switzerland, mornings were simple. Packing lunch, tying shoelaces, brushing Janson's hair while he complained about school. Mama, tomorrow is my birthday, he said, eyes bright. I want chocolate cake. YN smiled faintly. You'll get it. No fear in that moment. Just a child asking for something small. She worked at a little bakery inn nearby. Warm ovens, the smell of bread, a life that looked ordinary from the outside. But inside, she never stopped watching. Never stopped checking doors twice. Never stopped reading the news. The case still came up sometimes. Susie convicted 5 years. Her family dragged through court, reputations shattered. YN would read it quietly, no reaction on her face. But somewhere deep inside it still wasn't enough. That night, Janson came home tired, chattering about school. She fed him, tucked him in. By 9 p.m., the house was silent again. Then ding. The bell. Her body went still. No one visited this late. Her hands turned cold, slow steps to the door. She opened it. No one. A chill ran down her spine. She stepped slightly forward, and then a shadow moved. Jungkook, standing there, right in front of her. For a second, neither of them spoke. 4 years. Gone in one breath. Her grip tightened on the door. His eyes searched her face. You found me, she said quietly. Not shocked, not relieved, just stating it. Jungkook swallowed. I never stopped looking. Silence stretched between them. Heavy with everything unsaid. Her eyes flickered past him instinctively. Why are you here, she asked. For you, he answered. A beat. And him. She didn't move. Didn't open the door wider. Jian-san is sleeping, she said. I know, Jungkook replied softly. I saw the light go off. That made her tense. You've been watching? I just got here, he said quickly. I wouldn't do that. She studied him, long, carefully. Like she was trying to decide if he was still someone she knew. You shouldn't have come, she said finally. I had to. Why? Her voice sharpened slightly. To take us back? To fix things that already died? No, he said, shaking his head. To face you. That made her pause. I know everything now, he added quietly. Her expression didn't change. Too late, she said. I know, he admitted. That she didn't expect. Silence again. Wind brushing past the quiet house. You built a life here, he said, glancing around slightly. You look safe. I am, she replied. And happy. That question lingered. She didn't answer immediately. I'm stable, she said instead. Honest. But not the same. Jungkook nodded slowly. I didn't come to destroy that, he said. I came because he deserves to know me. That hit somewhere deeper. Her grip on the door tightened. He has a life, she said, a routine, peace. And I'm part of his life too. Jungkook replied, not harsh, just firm silence. You left without giving me a chance, he added. I gave you many, she said instantly. That shut him up. Soft footsteps inside. Mama? Both of them froze. Jian-san stood in the hallway, sleepy eyes rubbing. He looked toward the door. At the man standing there. Who is that? The question hung in the air. YN didn't answer. Jungkook didn't move, because this moment was bigger than all of them. And whatever came next would change everything again. Time didn't fix them overnight, but it softened the edges. Little by little shared routines turned into conversations into small trust, and somewhere along the way, the distance between them stopped feeling permanent. 2 more years passed, and one morning everything changed again. YN stared at the report in her hand. Her fingers trembled slightly. Twins, Jungkook blinked. What? She looked up at him, still in disbelief. Twins, she repeated. For a second, neither of them spoke. Then something broke, not fear this time, relief. Gratitude. Something that felt like a return. Thank God, she whispered, eyes filling. Jungkook sat beside her slowly, like he was afraid the moment might disappear. It's like. She smiled faintly through tears. They came back to us. He didn't correct her. Didn't question it. He just held her hand. Tightly. Jeonson, now older, looked between them curiously. What's twins? YN laughed softly for the first time in a long while. It means you're going to be a big brother twice. His eyes widened. 2 babies? Jungkook smiled. Yeah. Think you can handle that? Jeonson grinned. Of course. This time everything was different. Jungkook didn't take chances, doctor visits, care, protection. He was there for everything. Overprotective, even YN noticed. But she didn't push him away. Not anymore, because this time he stayed. Fully. The doctor warned them though. It's a delicate pregnancy. Those words stayed in Jungkook's mind like a shadow. He didn't let her out of his sight. Not again. Months passed. The day came. The hospital room was filled with tension. Jungkook stood outside at first, pacing, hands shaking. Memories, fear, regret, everything came back. But this time, he didn't run, he stayed. Hours later, the sound of crying filled the room. Then another, 2 voices strong, alive. The nurse smiled. A boy and a girl. Jungkook froze. Then stepped forward slowly. YN lay there exhausted but smiling. They're here, she whispered. He looked at them. Really looked. Junho, she said softly, looking at the baby boy. And Minsu. Jungkook's eyes filled. Because this time, nothing was taken away. That night, YN fell asleep holding them. And for the first time in years, she dreamed. Not of pain, not of loss, but of 3 small voices, calling her not in fear, not in pain, but peaceful. Years passed again. Johnson, now 13, ran around the house, chasing the twins as they laughed loudly. Catch me, Minsu shouted. No, me, Junho followed. YN stood at the doorway, watching. Still, but her eyes softer now. They left Switzerland, returned to South Korea. The case closed, the past not gone, but settled. At the hospital, Jungkook stood beside his father. Older, weaker, changed. I'm sorry, Jungkook said. Not just for one thing, for everything. His father looked at him quietly. I know. That was all. But it was enough. Outside in the hospital garden, YN sat on a bench, watching the trees move gently with the wind. Jungkook walked toward her and sat beside her. No rush. No pressure. Just presence. For a while, they didn't speak. Then, peaceful, he asked. She looked ahead. Better, she said. He nodded. A small silence. Not heavy. Not empty. Just calm. Their fingers brushed slightly on the bench between them. Neither pulled away. Because this time, they weren't trying to go back. They were just moving forward. Together,